So someone sent me an interesting theory discussing one of the biggest Pokemon mysteries with some compelling evidence to explain it. Having seen the evidence and looked into its validity, I can conclude that this is most likely true. So sign in and get ready to comment below as we explore the Horde of Faceless Men. Let me give you a bit of backstory here. The question of today's theory is, what are or is the Horde of Faceless Men? People in the past have said things like Slenderman and Zygarde and things like that. However, I actually think it's more likely evidence of a legend that applies to this theory. First, what exactly is the Horde of Faceless Men? Well, in X and Y, when visiting a specific forest, there is an unusual haunted house. And inside the house is a gentleman who will tell the story of what happened to him in his youth. He states that he was lost, and when he stumbled upon the house, the man yelled at him inside that there was a horde of faceless men behind him. This is where the theory comes from, because the gentleman asks if the story he told was true or not, and later he will even say some things are best left unknown. So with the next to no in-game evidence, what in the world is this Horde of Faceless Men? Well, first, the biggest clue is Horde, as that was a new mechanic introduced for Pokemon. People have related this to being a bunch of Execute, or like I said before, Zygarde. However, it's none of these, and it's not Slenderman either, as it's more than one. While Kalos may be set in France, this legend actually takes place in my region, America. And Game Freak is very well known for taking real-life events, history, legends, lore, and place them in the Pokemon world with little to no reference to our real world. So, let's take a look at this evidence a user sent me. Somewhere on a rutted, nearly impassable back road in rural Monroe, Connecticut, stands what locals call the House of the Faceless People. This ancient farmhouse is enclosed within a forest of gnarled, bent, bony-looking trees, and all of its windows are boarded up. If visited at night, the house will be entirely dark. However, on certain occasions, a dim kerosene lamp can be seen through the slates covering one of the windows. This, it is said, is the caretaker's room. He is an old man who oversees the faceless ones, though he is occasionally spotted working around the yard or chasing away cars that pass by too slowly. His faceless charges remain nothing but a mystery. Some believe the house's inhabitants are the fabled Melon Heads. However, no one truly knows who or what can be found inside the House of the Faceless People. Okay, well, that's almost a one-to-one match, right? But these legends are rarely true. Could this just be another made-up story used to scare people? That is what I thought until I actually looked this up and found proof that this is more than just one person making up this story. The Faceless Men Horde is actually something known as the Melon Heads, as referenced in the picture. So let's talk about them. A number of Connecticut-based legends of the Melon Heads has one similar characteristics in particular. This characteristic involves a secluded, rustic, or single-lane, usually dirt road running through the Melon Heads' wooded and forest territory. Many towns in Fairfield County and New Haven County have rural and forest sections that is not uncommon for these forests to have rural roads running through them. These rural roads at times are associated with the local variation of Melon Heads and the Melon Head legend and claim to be part of Melon Head's territory. Well, doesn't that just sound familiar to the Faceless Men? And in this specific legend I read earlier, there was one man, a caretaker, just like what the man in the spooky house of X and Y was saying. A man who was yelling about a faceless horde. The man would have been that caretaker. The house matches up with the spooky house, no lights on, one caretaker in the middle of a gnarled forest that is nearly impossible for cars to get to, with no real roads to access it. In the house, the legend, it's almost a one-to-one match with the Horde of Faceless Men from X and Y. So I will say that Game Freak had heard of this legend and thought to put it in their game. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Theory solved. And while the Horde of Faceless Men is a bit spooky, looking up lore on Melon Heads is even more jarring, as it seems to be truer than this Pokemon stuff and what Pokemon has to offer. But the truth is stranger than fiction, as it were, and this theory has been solved. So I have been your host, Protomario, and I'm signing out. And if you're still signed in, please like and share my work with others. And as always, good gaming and God bless. Please note that in all my videos, if I use images from Google, that I do not own any of those images, and all images attained from Google are owned by their respective owners and copyrights. So please remember this when watching my Pokemon theories. Thanks.